So I was speaking at a synagogue, actually, a Messianic synagogue in Manhattan, and I was giving a talk about personal finance and was sharing a lot of, if you know, my background being in the banking industry. So I was sharing a lot of information about investing and stewarding and managing your resources and managing your money. And at the end of that, like we do in this coaching space, right, I made an opportunity for those who wanted to continue to get on a call with me to see maybe if there was an opportunity to work with me or me to work with them. And so I went through that whole deal and did that. Well, the response was amazing.
Yep.
The people that came out, the people that responded, it was such an amazing experience. And one of the things that was interesting was there was one particular gentleman who was very unassuming, very modestly dressed and so forth. And he came and said, hey, I want to get on a call with you. I want to talk to you. So we get on a call, we talk. And he's asking me about, everything. And so I'm just laying it out for him and having a great conversation with him. And then he says to me, okay, how much is it? In other words, how much is it for him to coach and to work with me? And I told him how much it was. And in short, he said no. And he said no because he felt like, because the number that I told him what it was to work with me at that time was so small, he didn't think that it would be as effective for him. And I realized, sometimes when we start out in business, anything is big, right? Because you're just starting out. So we have, a price and we're like just so amazed that somebody would even work with us. And I think I had carried over that mentality of just thinking not about the transformation I provided, but more so about how honored I was, to have anybody to want to work with me in my business, to the point where even those who I knew I could help, who I knew I could have insight to really take to the next level, because the number was so small, or should I say the value, the perceived value in which I was projecting was so small,
right,
that it caused a person who was ready to pay 10 times as much,
yep,
say, well, nope, it must not be that good.
Time out for that. So ever since then,
of course, I have increased my prices, but really I had to increase my mindset.
Yeah.
And I really changed the way I thought about it. I didn't think about it from the standpoint of, units or per se what they were getting, as much as the transformation that it was going to provide. And so I think when we think in terms of impact, we'll be able to communicate value. And this is really what I've been learning and what I've seen practiced out over and over and over again with many entrepreneurs, a part of a huge coaching program of which we're a part of. And I realize it's important to be with other big fish thinkers, because when you're thinking with big fish thinkers, then you see the pond differently.
Yeah, that's so good. And case in point, like last week we were training for about 3 days with Russell Brunson, amazing coach, amazing business coach in Denver. And when I tell you he broke things down, he broke it down. And that was just another reminder that, wow, are we still thinking too small? Are we still playing too small? And so I feel like every single time that we're confronted with it, what happens is we continue to grow. And so we wanted to do an episode of this, like the whole small thinking deal for you all, and share with you some of the amazing things that we learned while we were there with him. So we want to do that with you all. It's going to be episode 101 of the Marriedpreneur Life podcast. But there were some life-changing situations and strategies that were shared with us, and we want to be sure to share them. Why you get?
You good?
Oh, I get easily distracted sometimes. But anyway, as I was saying, we want to make sure that we are sharing those things with you. So you can go ahead and check it out at the Marriedpreneur Life podcast, or on marriedpreneurlife.com, or Marriedpreneur Life on any station or any platform you want to listen to it on. So iTunes, Stitcher, all that, any of those, okay? And then let us know what your takeaways are. Let us know where you all are, and then how, really confront any type of limited thinking or small thinking that you may be dealing with, because the sooner you deal with that, the sooner that you confront that and you realize it. And that's the thing, a lot of times we're not even aware, but as soon as you realize it, your mind, it begins literally to expand. The mind is an expandable thing. So we wanted to share that with you, to encourage you all, number one, and then to equip you as well. So make sure you go ahead and check that out. Press share too, to share this with some other married entrepreneurs. And we look forward to hearing how your mind expands on the other side.